generation that had one foot in the 1950s and one foot in the 1960s. So we were sort of a bridge over between those two really significant eras, graduating from high school at the end of the 50s, going to college in the 60s. And if you remember, there were a lot of changes during that time. And I have thoughts about that, which I'm going to share with you. Little Susie woke up, revelation. Or, how come after all that, everything still sucks? In the beginning, there was God, school, parents, President Eisenhower, the friendly weight of neighborly expectation, urging cooperation in one's encapsulation. Quite a wad to digest for one who contrives, no matter what, to wedge a toe or even a toenail into the door crack to liberation. The gods of salvation sent us rock and roll, in whose manifestation we danced, whether close or in twisting gyration. No wonder the Baptists predicted damnation. Even the Africans responsible for its gestation stared when we launched our imitation. What the hell them O-Faith doing? So when the age of Aquarius broke over us, we were primed in expectation of the expiation we knew there'd be for all that sublimation, bringing a new conformation. Exclusionary hypness, just another way of saying delta, delta, delta. Its sacraments, if they didn't kill you, opened, we thought, unthought of doors, shortcuts to transformation, preparation for illumination. We didn't know that's just living your life, experimentation, no substitute for experience. And of course, flouted convention had its vindication, flexed unatrophied muscles, showed choices have consequences, and karma is a very long eventuation. Did the conceivers and conceived from the summer of love, and how fast it became a winter of discontent? Did the flower children who saw in fornication a path to universal exaltation really change anything? That, then, is the beginning of elucidation, but not its culmination, which will lie, if we're to avoid resignation, condemnation, and possible extermination, in a necessary examination of how and why, after the pomp of our coronation, the now generation, once destined for celebration, jitterbugged with such determination to gutless abdication. So I have in my next poem a sort of vignette from the years that followed the days I was just talking about, from the years of the actual counterculture revolution. Olden days. In the first wave of bared belly buttons, when retro meant stuff from the 40s, we boogied down with Jimmy Buffett one starry night near Aspen, then hopped in the van by and found sleep in a nearby glade. We grinned in the morning at our hasty choice, snow-capped crests, a pine-fringed lake. Wow. Made campfire coffee to sluice down homemade granola and dressed in groovy rags for the trip to town. In the rugby park, our first hang glider ever landed at our feet. Wow! While a band played Jackson Brown. The chicks bought trinkets for their ears and a crystal amulet for the band. Homeward bound, we slid naked into a hot springs pool with friends we just met, to sounds of deep inhaling. Wow, thanks man, nobody for do. The guy's so cool. experts at pretending not to look. A mellow trip, those tripping days, most of the time, for a while. Who'd have thought they'd ever be retro? And so, bring it all down to the here and the now. This is called the way of the flesh. In the marsh, a great egret stands frozen in careful step, the endless neck unfolded full length, stalking the snack that flicks through wavy water and fattens unawares among delectable slimy fronds for the long, sharp spike poised above. And I, in a rented car, flick past on pleasurable small errands, fattening unawares, my watch ticking. My last poem is a tiny one on one of my favorite subjects to write about, my father. Everyone's getting to know Daddy very well. Gotcha. My father and I locked horns every day, head to head. I couldn't give an inch, nor follow where he led. I quote him often, though now he's 9 years dead, and live my life according to nearly all he said.